This is so stupid. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. So I think 20 people sent me this article. This has been covered in a bunch of different outlets, different people covering the same study, but they all have the same bent. And basically, the gist of it is they're blaming men. They're saying that women aren't getting married because there aren't enough economically stable men. And they're blaming men. Men are not stepping up. They're not earning money. They're not high enough on the socioeconomic ladder to capture a woman's heart. So it's the men's fault.
Oh,
Except
we're stepping up for ourselves a lot, or
no,
moreover, we're stepping out.
no, it's more fundamental than that. Women are pissing and moaning and getting men fired and using affirmative action quotas. Like, all these laws are being passed demanding that they get put on boards of companies they're not qualified for. They get jobs they're not qualified for. All these companies are being forced to hire 50% women. Got to get all the diversity. And these women are looking around like, oh, right, I got this job. Now I want a husband, but he has to earn more than me because of hypergamy. And they're not finding a husband that meets their standards. And then they're like, oh, I guess there's no marriageable men because I make so much money and I demand a man make more than me. And so they're blaming the men. I
I
don't
was
know.
talking about it earlier with someone because obviously a lot of people are talking about this article. And they sent me a response that someone had written that's filled with statistics. And the whole thing is very good. But there's this one paragraph that's incredibly good. Listen to this.
Okay.
But there's another aspect to this because women's past decisions to delay marriage also played a role in shrinking the pool of men who prepared to take on the role of provider. The first generations of women who decided to push out the age of marriage for the most part found that the same number of men still prepared to be husbands. But over time, as the length of the delay increased, this weakened the signal women collectively sent to young men that respectable men will be sexually successful. It isn't just that young women are now astonishingly open about their intent to have sex with the bad boys in their prime and settle for a beta provider at the last minute, although that has to have some impact. It also isn't just that a society we see married fathers as beneath contempt, although surely that's having an impact as well. Today, an 18-year-old man doesn't see the same incentive to knock himself out on education and career that men of previous generations saw. Today, an 18-year-old man sees that for the next decade or so, his most effective sexual strategy is to focus on being the sexual bad boy young women dedicate their sexual prime to, not on patiently preparing to be the boring, loyal dude who will pick up the tab.
Yeah. Well, it's everything. It's ultimately boiled down entirely to female empowerment. And again, they openly admit this. Openly admit. In fact, there was someone tweeting. It was something basically a woman saying that women, women don't like the reason why they admit that women broke up the family. Women destroyed the family because they didn't need men anymore. As soon as they no longer need a man to financially support them, they get out. They pull the ripcord. They're not happy because women are never happy. So once they no longer need you, they're gone. And it's like, what do you expect men to do? So you have women bitching to the government, demanding jobs they're not qualified for, but there's only so many jobs. So for every job that a company is forced to hire a woman, that's one less man that can have that job. So, and women are being forced to be put into these high-ranking jobs, pushing men out of the way, who then have to take low-paying jobs, and then the women deem those men to be beneath them. Or what's even better, they have no concept of sexual marketplace value. So they don't understand that a woman's highest value is between 18 and 25, whereas a man's highest value is between 45 and 55. Or if you're the guy who wrote American Pie, you could be in your fucking 70s and fuck a 25-year-old. But the guys in their peak earning years are the most desirable, and women in their peak fertility years are the most desirable. But these women wait until they're in their 30s and 40s and expect a man in his peak, desirableness to settle down with them after they've had a mile of cock run through them. They expect these men in their peak earning years, making all the money, to pay full price for their beat-up, moldy, cum-filled roast beef sandwich of a pussy.
And
Well,
there's 6 kids.
And
yeah,
their six
because
kids with
they're
different fathers.
right, and they're constantly told that they're beautiful, that they're worth it, and that they can do no wrong, and their pussy smells like roses, even though they haven't washed it in 12 years. So, of course, they're going to have the princess mentality. And it's only until they hit rock bottom they realize, well, and not always this. When they hit rock bottom, then then they hopefully realize, oh yeah, this was a bad deal. Now I better actually try to have a personality, but some of them just take that princess mentality to the grave.
It's not princess mentality. It's a child's mentality.
It's
because a child, if you say you can't eat candy for every meal, you're going to get fat and lose all your teeth. And they say, no, fuck it. And they eat candy for every meal for 10 years. Then they lose their teeth. And what else can you say except for told you so?
And they get diabetic too.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is, this is that perfect example of women. Like there's women cause this problem. This problem is 100% caused by women demanding all this shit they didn't earn. They wanted jobs they didn't earn. They wanted all this shit. They've edged men out of and they're bragging about it. They will openly brag that women are now the majority of college graduates. They are. The majority of college graduates are women. And also, women are out-earning men between their 20s and 30s. During their peak fertility window, women are out-earning men. Well, because of their hypergamy, they will not settle down in their prime fertility window because they're out-earning the men. It's only when they meet, like, it's so dumb. Like, and then this is what pisses me off. This is the thing. At the end of the day, when women cause this problem, then they blame men. Again, from the New York Post, let me zoom in so you can drink it all in. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. Empowered women created the broke men. If you weren't taking these men's jobs away and giving them the women, they would have a job. They wouldn't be broke. You think guys like being broke? Guys don't want to be broke. Feminism took their jobs away. And they openly brag about it, talking about, isn't it great? And then in cases where the women are losing their jobs, like to automation, they're acting like, oh my gosh, the government needs to do something. Women could lose their jobs. But when men are losing their jobs, no one cares. Like, oh my gosh, men are the majority of college graduates. We need diversity. We need equality. Oh, women are the majority of college graduates. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that women are the majority? Oh, we need to keep throwing money at them. Nope, don't stop. Don't start giving money to men. Can you imagine if they started giving men affirmative action quotas? Feminists would lose their minds. And yet here they are bitching about the consequence of what they did. Like, they're children. They are children. They bitch about all this shit. You give them what they want, and then they bitch about the consequences of what you gave them. So they're going to bitch no matter what. They're going to bitch that, my equality, my diversity, my affirmative action. Or they're going to say, where are all the good men? There aren't any men with good jobs. I wanted to have a family. You don't need a college degree to have a family. You have everything you need between your legs. So you fucking go have a baby. The fuck do you need a college degree and a career for if you want to be a mother?
And fortunately, you have successful men like, let's say, Leonardo DiCaprio that's essentially caught on to stuff like this. I mean, he won't even date a woman as soon as after she reaches 25. Then it's like he's essentially like, because someone caught on to the pattern and made a chart out of it. And it's like, yeah, I'm done now. It's not Leonardo DiCaprio. It's every man. They did a study. In fact, you know what? Women sometimes ask, why are older men looking at women half their age? In a New York Times article, it tracked the ages that people from age 20 to 50 are attracted to in the opposite sex. While the preferences of women tend to follow a linear curve, men's basically peaked out at 24. Now, why is that? It's all due to biology and fertility. According to an article from IVF New England called Age Impacts Fertility, after 24, which is the oldest age a man is attracted to, even at age 50, a woman's fertility begins to drop. However, a woman is attracted to a man's ability to provide resources, and a man's peak earning years are from age 44 to 54. You want these rich, successful, established older men, but you have nothing to offer them because you're not fertile anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say,
double down on the same narrative that whatever tragedy happens to whatever group, women most affected.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I agree with you, Shogun, especially with the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. And it's natural for all men to only be attracted to women who are 25 and younger because, like TFM says, that's their their fertility starts to drop at that point in time. And you're right, there is a chart of it. I looked it up.
Yeah, I found it. I couldn't find the one. Well, I have the chart of the men. I couldn't find the one for women. I did a video on this. It's on BitChute, I'm sure, talking about why can't I find a man or whatever. But I found the one for men. So the one for women, you'll have to take my word for it because I couldn't find it. Women want a man who's a couple years older than her until they're late 30s, early 40s. Then they want a man that's a couple years younger than her. But generally, the desirability of a man, like from a woman's perspective, it either leads or trails her by a couple years. But look at this chart. This is a 2010 survey. They asked men from ages 20 to 50 what's the age of the woman they desire. Nobody wanted a woman 25 or older. Nobody. The 20-year-olds wanted 20-year-olds. The 50-year-olds wanted 22-year-olds. The oldest one was the 45-year-olds that wanted 24-year-olds. They were the ones like MILF banging, I guess. I don't know. But that's just the way it is. That's reality. So you wasted your peak fertility window sport fucking, and now you're alone, and you say you can't find a good man because you took their job, which you didn't even want. These women don't actually want to work. It's actually kind of funny. They sabotage themselves, and then they blame men. It's like, this is why, look, women would be happier if we took their rights away, frankly. Like, it's dumb. Like, no one wins in this scenario, other than, like, the communists. But we're all going to starve to death, so, I don't really think that's a win either.
What's up, my fellow MGTOW brothers? Are you tired of the same old monotone, boring MGTOW content? You need something with a little more flair to it. Come subscribe to the Rare Breed Theory on YouTube, where we provide thought-provoking, highly entertaining content about feminism, gynocentrism, and all other MGTOW issues and philosophies. And also, we induce gut-busting laughter. And maybe we can even come up with some solutions to this anti-male environment we're in. I know, monkey. Take their rights away. And yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. Man, what if I get tired of listening to MGTOW content all the time? Well, guess what? We got something for you too. We'll be talking about pop culture things as well, from a MGTOW lens, of course. Subscribe now. The Rare Breed Theory.
MGTOW means freedom. Freedom from gynocentrism, freedom from the divorce industry, freedom to make money, freedom to do whatever you goddamn want. But while the MGTOW life is easier and more enjoyable than being a slave, it doesn't excuse you from preparing for retirement. And most young men today do not prepare for retirement. But that's okay, because now you got Poor Richard's Retirement. Poor Richard's Retirement is a revolutionary book because unlike today's retirement planning books, it actually fucking works. It puts retirement easily within the reach of every man. Whether you have student loans or behind in your retirement planning, have no retirement savings at all, Poor Richard's Retirement bypasses all of it by showing you how little you truly need to retire. And it does so through the simple fact that happiness is not found in master's degrees, McMansions, corporate slave careers, or whatever lies the matriarchy is selling you, but through the love of family, friends, and your fellow man, all of which are free. So retire early, retire happy, and enjoy the last third of your life. Buy and read Poor Richard's Retirement, the retirement Bible for men, minimalists, and MGTOWs. Available at Amazon.com.
I have an important message for you. For the guys who dream about early retirement and packing their bags for a one-way trip to Asia and say bye-bye to #MeToo, feminism, entitled Women Riding the Cock Carousel, author and MGTOW Luca Venditti has written a book about how to achieve early financial independence and leave the West. He managed to retire on $200K in Asia and is happy to share how he did it. His book will cover in detail the high-yield deposit accounts available and how to capitalize on them for a guaranteed monthly passive income that grows with inflation, an extremely detailed budget breakdown, and much more. The book is called MGTOW's Guide to Retiring on $200K in Southeast Asia. And you can purchase it on MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code
DFM
for an extra 10% off.
Now in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3.
Are you worried about the future? Don't be. Gear up, get prepared. Arcadia Gear is an outdoor sporting goods company focusing on survival and preparedness. The Mongrel EDT is a waterproof, thermal-reflective, lightweight nylon tarp which weighs less than 2.5 pounds. It has superior construction, fail point stress reduction design, double-stitched heat tape seams. The Fat Boy is a 3/4 inch diameter ferro rod for long-term survival. Lighters will run out of fuel, matches will get wet. Be prepared, give yourself an advantage in the fire department. The Woodsman is an ultralight titanium grill which weighs less than 5.5 ounces, which you can use to cook food in the wilderness. Check out these products at ArcadiaGear.com. Arcadia Gear, designed for when your life depends on it.
War. War never changes. In the current year, women have declared war on men. Men are not only guilty until proven innocent, but they are not even allowed to prove their innocence. In response to this warfare waged by women, known as feminism, men have sought refuge with waifus, artificial women able to satisfy a man's need for love and sex. Retailers like the Dollhouse began to spread, bringing waifus to men everywhere, freeing them from the enslavement of feminism. Get your waifu today from thedollhouse.com or dc.dollhouse.com if you're in the United States, before they're banned by feminism so they can control men once more. Go to thedollhouse.com and dcdollhouse.com to find your waifu today, before it's too late.
Thank you.